Alright, so I got my ratings and they reduced it from 20% to 10%. Right? Well, listen to what they say though. Evaluation of residual status post complex left pelvis fracture currently evaluated as 20% disabling. The evaluation of residual status post complex left pelvis fracture is decreased to 10% effective April 8, 2020, which is the date of the VA re-examination that shows a reduction is warranted. Current evidence demonstrates improvement in your condition. Okay. I fell 3 stories, broke my pelvis, sacrum, and acrum, and that's an improvement? Well, it's the fucking same to me. I mean, is it magically healed all of a sudden? Is the bone no longer fractured or something like it is? Or are these fucking people walking around with mental problems themselves? Right? In your condition, in the record as a whole, shows that sustained improvement has been demonstrated. Okay. I mean, it looks this freaking insane to me. But I'm walking longer or something? Now, I can do full splits, you know that, right? Taking karate. Can I do that anymore? Probably not. I can run. Can I run anymore? No, I can't run anymore. And that the improvement will be maintained under the ordinary condition of life. Okay, right. You have been rated at the 20% evaluation for this condition for less than 20 years. Right? So, ain't it odd, right? The mental will say at 100, and I'll get to that later on. But the physical, even though it can't improve, and normally with arthritis pain, it gets what, as you get older, better or worse, better or worse. Now, I'm not worried about it for the next 20 years anyway. Right? I'm still 50, middle age. What's retirement age? Another 15 years, 65, right? I ain't saying that, but for the next 20 years, okay, I might be the same as I am now, because I can do full freaking splits. I can run the mile in 4 minutes. You know, one of those little track things, I can do that in 4 minutes. Because they have one that grows, right? And I can run that shit in 4 minutes, right? A mile. Running 4 times as mile, right? Run it 6 times a mile and a half. I can do that in 6 minutes. See, I can run my whole trailer park. I can bike from Springfield to Guyton, where I want to go. Okay, that's before I joined. See, it's almost like morons don't get what I'm saying. Okay, physically I'm not the same, right? I'm reduced to doing not even a 20% of what I could do before I fell. Because I was a very active person. Hell, I'm big because I can't run. Right. The pelvis prevents me from running, fool. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not saying I can't walk. I'm saying I can't jog a little, maybe one thing in about, what, 1/4 mile. But that would take me about, I'll work on it a little bit, right, and demonstrate it to you. That would probably take me about 2 minutes itself or longer. I'm guessing right now because I ain't done it in a while. I even jogged a lot, right? But even jogging ain't the same as running at full blast, doing the 1/4 mile in a minute. You understand? That's almost Olympic speed. Right. Before I joined, I know. You understand physically the difference I'm talking about here? Right. I'm gonna put that in, what I'm talking about more. I'm sure they don't understand what I mean. You have been rated at 20% evaluation for this condition for less than 20 years. But rating decision dated September 11, 2017 noted improvement based on VA examination dated September 7th, 2017. The current VA examination of April 8th, 2020 also shows improvement. How do you improve a bone fracture? Which is what we're talking about here, right? You don't get arthritis pain in your muscle. You get it in what? Your bone. Your bone. What these fools even talking about? This reduction does not result in a change in your overall combined evaluation of 100%. So, with the schizophrenia, the physical injury, I'm still over 100%, and therefore the provisions of 38 CFR 3.105 do not apply. And this reduction is warranted, right? We have assigned a 10% evaluation for your residual status post-complex left pelvis fracture based on painful hip motion of the hip. Allows consideration of functional loss due to painful motion to be rated to at least the minimum compensable rating for a particular joint. Alright, this sacrum is a joint now. And I guess they didn't even rate that because that's what this was about too. Since you demonstrate painful motion, which is the whole point, it's called arthritis of the thigh at the hip joint. The minimum compensable evaluation of 10% is assigned, right? Okay, so why did they rate it at 20%? Okay, and now it's reduced to 10% because you can improve from a bone fracture, which is causing you what's called arthritic pain or traumatic arthritis. Right. What do they think I'm trying to evaluate? The arthritis pain. Maybe I have to spell it out for them more. Okay. Additional symptoms include limitations of abduction of the thigh, can cross legs, painful abduction, painful extension, painful external rotation, painful flexion, right? Painful internal rotation. The provisions of 38 CFR 4.4 and 4.45 concerning functions lost due to pain, fatigue, weakness, or loss of endurance in coordination and flare-ups as cited by DeLuca versus Brown and Mitchell versus Shinseki, I think. Seiki. Sounds like a Mitchell's could be the lawyer, and Shinseki is maybe a Japanese man or a Japanese woman, I don't know. Have been considered and applied under 38 CFR 4.95. Follow that, right? A higher evaluation of 20% is not warranted for limitation of flexion of the thigh unless the evidence shows flexions of the thigh limited to 20 to 30 degrees. Okay. The painfulness don't come from limited motion. It comes from traumatic arthritis. That's what I'm talking about, right? See, if I could do the full splits, the pain ain't because of flexions or not flexions. I can probably still do somewhat of a split because I showed you that on the flexing machine, right? Now I can't do the full splits anymore because of what? The buildup of the arthritic pain in the bones. Which is what I'm trying to get rated. Not the... Well, maybe I need to reword it. They don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong, right? And I'm trying to get in the traumatic arthritic pain, not how I can move or flex or degrees or not degrees. Right? Arthritis sets in the bones. Right? When I was laying in bed, when I get out of bed, right? And it's a different thing than, say, paralysis as well, whether I should be paralyzed or not as well. Instead of being paralyzed, somehow I'm feeling arthritic pain, you know what I mean? That's not just psychological there. I mean, I can't tell you why, like, the man who was lowered through the roof, when Jesus told him, your sins are forgiven, he got up and walked. It's kind of the same case. I'm walking, right? But I can't run because of arthritic pain that flares up when I start running, you understand? That I didn't have when I ran before, not even after a car wreck, right? 3-star fall, came 8 years later, right? See, what do you think I'm talking about, right? Even my neck, right here where something, landed on my head. I guess it was the windshield knocked me out or something, maybe, I don't know, or a bat. That's as a sideline, maybe. But whatever happened there, I'm knocked out and don't remember anything, right? And the same thing should happen at the fall, too. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I assumed I fell 3 stories from the 2 1/4 story window ledge. I'm also telling you, though, I was trained in jiu-jitsu, and I also could have lowered myself down an additional window ledge, which would be 1 1/4 stories, but I can't prove that because I have what? Amnesia, right? So I just assumed I hit the side of the building as well. Right? Wouldn't you? When I let go of the roof to try to get on the window ledge, I just assumed I was to hit the side of the window ledge when I miscalculated. It was real slippery than I thought, right? Wouldn't you think that if you know you could scale buildings a little bit? Now, at least a 1 or 2 story, maybe 3 story building like an agency denomination, right? Now, what's the difference between, again, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, which is almost 6 stories high, and the 3-story building is 3 stories lower? That's important, too, if you're trying to get into a building or not. Okay, and that's what's left of the Temple Mount for 2,000 years ago. Okay, we'll figure this out.